Welcome back to another masterclass with 7 Ways to Wealth. Tonight we have an amazing guest speaker. Her name is Tiffany Tyuse, and she is the tax sales expert, guys. Okay, so if y'all want to get into real estate, she's going to show you a very creative way on how to get into real estate. What she does is she teaches people how to acquire real estate and make money on their local courthouse stairs. Okay, so Tiffany Tyuse is an expert in her industry, and she is going to be bringing an amazing masterclass for you guys tonight. Tiffany, thank you so much for coming. You have the floor.
What's up, good people? I appreciate you having me for this opportunity to speak to your group. I do want to say what I'm thankful for. I am definitely thankful for my parents because they're still alive, and they're still together, and the fact that I'm here and breathing and sound mind and body, I'm just thankful for that. But I am here to talk to you guys about real estate, right? Who all is interested in investing in real estate? Tell me that. Who all? Are any of you guys actually interested in investing in real estate, but you come across different opportunities where you may not have enough money, or your credit is not up to par, or you're an entrepreneur and you don't have any true W-2s or bank statements or tax returns? I know a lot of you guys have been in that particular situation because I know I have. You understand? But in outside of retail real estate, there's also tax sales, and that would be investing in tax liens and tax deeds. And I've been doing that for quite some time now. And I teach other people how to acquire real estate. Now, what states are you from in the room? Are any of you here in Georgia? Anybody here in Georgia? I would like to know what state you guys are in, because when you're dealing with tax liens and tax deeds, it's not consistent across the board at all. It's different in every state, and within every state, each county, parish, township, or jurisdiction operates completely different within each state. Okay, I have Louisiana, Massachusetts, Florida, Florida. Okay. The United Kingdom. Now the UK, I don't know. I haven't been out of the country in order to start investing in tax liens and tax deeds out there, but I do know that Jamaica does, if I'm not mistaken. I have a client that has property out there, Philadelphia. That's correct, Orlando. Okay, good people. So I have a presentation that I want to be able to show you. Can you give me share screen? Okay.
Yes, it should work now.
Okay. And I also want to know, have any of you guys ever heard of tax liens or tax deeds?
Definitely.
I'm pretty sure you're thinking like, that sounds like a scam. I don't know if that's true, or I don't know about that, but it's actually accurate. Hold on, let me give you my presentation. Give me just a second, good people. Let's see here. This is the presentation I have here for you guys. So this is going to be the presentation regarding tax deed and tax lien certificates. That's what they're called when you're at the courthouse. And I know it's been times where you've been to the courthouse and you see a bunch of people standing on the courthouse stairs and you're wondering like, what are all these people out here for? I wonder what they're doing. But you never stop to pay attention. You just going in and out of the courthouse to handle your own business, whatever you had to take care of. But with tax liens and tax deeds, it is one of the best investment vehicles out here because it is guaranteed by state laws. It's guaranteed by the government. And when you invest in these particular instruments, your capital is secured by the state government where you invest, providing safe and high yield returns. That means that a pandemic cannot affect these returns on these tax liens and tax deeds. The stock market, consumer spending, COVID, nothing will affect tax liens and tax deeds because it's within the state statutes. And regardless of what's going on in the economy, these particular interest investments will remain the same. Now, a lot of people wonder, like, what is a tax lien and a tax deed, and where do they come from? Basically, tax deeds and tax liens are a byproduct of the delinquent property taxes. When a property owner does not pay their taxes, depending on your state, they will create a tax lien or a tax deed. You understand? But with these property taxes, a lot of people don't really even understand what these property taxes actually pay. And it pays for your city, your county, and your state to be able to operate efficiently. And that's by with your 911 services with police and fire, hospitals, schools, libraries, park and recreation, street cleaning and maintenance, trash pickup and recycling. We all pay for that. That is not given to us for free. It's included within your property tax bill. Now, when these particular property taxes aren't paid, it's not like they're gonna say, oh, 123 Main Street, we gotta skip them because their property taxes aren't paid. They're gonna still provide those services. It's a part of their job to still provide those services for their city, their county, and their state. But in each and every county, state, parish, and jurisdiction, there's an entity called your tax collector. That's who takes care of the property taxes. It could be called tax collector, tax commissioner, Department of Finance, Department of Treasurer. Their job is still to collect the property taxes. So even though they're not going to stop these services for you, their job is still to collect the property taxes. So when you don't pay your property taxes, it leaves it up to the commissioner's office, your tax collector's office, Department of Finance to still collect these funds. You understand? Now, these are the three different instruments when you're dealing with tax liens and tax deeds, which is a tax deed, a tax lien, and a redeemable deed. These are all your three options when you're on the courthouse stairs and you're ready to start investing in these vehicles within your local county government. Now, with your tax lien certificates, it is a legal claim by a governmental entity, which is your tax collector's office, against a non-compliant taxpayer assets, which is their property, and which means that these tax lien certificates will take first position over all other liens that's attached to your property. That is it supersedes your mortgage, it supersedes HOAs, it supersedes any mechanics liens, second mortgages, it supersedes everything. It takes the very first position. Okay. And when you're purchasing tax liens, you're purchasing the debt itself. You're only purchasing the debt. Okay. Now, the next instrument will be the tax deed. It's a legal document granting ownership of a property to a government body when the owner fails to pay their property taxes due on real estate. Now, a tax deed is the actual deed to the property. And so what the county government does is, what they do is they take your deed when your property taxes are behind, and they put that deed into their name so that they can then sell it to an actual investor. Like some of us who are interested in real estate, you can actually purchase the deed on the courthouse stairs. Now, with a tax deed, the property owner does not get an opportunity to come back and reclaim that deed from you. So whatever state that you're in that sells tax deeds, you get the property immediately. Now, the last one is redeemable deeds. This is the same like a tax deed, but they give the property owner time to come back and reclaim that deed from you. But when they come back to reclaim that deed from you, depending on the state, they're going to have to pay you 20%, 25%, 18%, depending on the state. You understand? So that's how you start making your money off of a property that's not technically yours yet, but you're investing your funds in order to get a 18, 20, or 25% return within a year. You get what I'm saying, good people? Okay. So this is a map of all the tax lien, tax deeds, and redeemable deed states. Now we did not speak about hybrid states. Hybrid states are states that's in the gray that sell both tax liens and tax deeds. Florida. For those of you guys, it was a few of you guys that said you were in Florida. They sell both tax liens and tax deeds, but they operate so differently. So if you want to purchase a tax deed in the state of Florida, once you purchase that tax deed in Florida, the property is automatically yours. That deed is not redeemable. But let's say you decide, oh, I want to purchase a tax lien in Florida. Those liens or has a 2-year redemption period on it. You understand how they operate differently? Then we have Ohio, PA, and New York. They sell both liens and deeds. Redeemable deeds, Texas, Georgia, Tennessee. I think that is Rhode Island and Connecticut, and of course Hawaii. They're redeemable deeds, so they have time to come back and reclaim. In Georgia, if someone was to purchase the deed on the courthouse stairs, they have to give the property on a year and a day to come back to redeem that with a 20% interest on top of that. In Texas, it's a 25% interest within a year and a day. You understand? So all these different states operate differently, and each county within the state operate differently as well, but their standards, the foundation remains the same, which is the percentage amount, whether it's a tax deed or if it's a redeemable. Let's see here. So with those particular type of returns, we're going right back here to Georgia, Texas, and back to Florida. They have a 20, 25, and 18% interest in 1 year. 1 year. When we have our money and our funds sitting in Navy, Federal, Chase, Wells, Bank of America, and they're providing us with 0.01% per year, which they're not even giving us a whole percent per year for our money just sitting there, which makes it much more beneficial to start investing, putting your money in investment vehicles over here in tax liens and tax deeds, because you get a much higher return on your investment than you have with your money just sitting in the bank. You get what I'm saying? Now, let's see. So for those of you who are like, you see the guy, he running with the money, right? When the only thing you want to do is make money, you don't want to have to deal with a house, you don't want no citations, you don't want to have to fix nothing or anything like that. You need to focus your investments in tax liens, because that's the debt you're purchasing. And when you're focusing on tax liens, you're focusing on higher end real estate, states with high interest rates, where customers are highly likely to redeem, which means that if you go into a well-off neighborhood and you just so happen to see someone with a tax lien on that property for $5,000, and the home itself is worth every bit a good $300,000 or $400,000, I can promise you that property owner will not lose their home to a $5,000 tax lien, which means they're gonna go ahead on and pay it. So if you somewhere in Texas and they decide to go ahead on and pay it, which they highly likely will, that means that you get the money that you pay for that lien plus 25% interest on top of that, and that's within a year. From the moment they purchase it, you getting 25% interest. You get what I'm saying? So if your only goal is to make money, definitely invest in tax lien certificates. And once again, these are our tax lien states. Louisiana has a 3-year redemption period. I did see someone from Louisiana has a 3-year redemption period. Tax lien states. And don't forget Florida, when you purchase in liens, it's a 2-year redemption period. Now, if your focus is on the deed, the property, you want the actual deed yourself. You don't care about the money, just give me the property. You're going to focus on states with no redemption period or short redemption periods, like Indiana. Gary, Indiana, their redemption period is 4 months. That's a very very short redemption period. But like a deed in Florida, there is no redemption period. California, there is no redemption period. So you have to know exactly where you would like to invest in order to get whatever your particular end goal would be. And you're investing in real estate where customers are highly likely not to redeem. It could have been a property that they were given to, they inherited, a family member passed, or they were gifted a property and they may feel it's more of a liability than an asset, and they've neglected it. And so these are situations where you can actually end up with the property itself. And those tax deed states would be all of these that are mentioned here. All of these that are mentioned here. Now, when you're dealing with tax lien and tax deeds, it's a win-win for everyone that's involved. Of course, it's going to be a win-win because the local county government gets to receive their money for the services that they provide to the city, county, and state. And then the property owner, it gives them more time to pay their property taxes, and it alleviates the stress of being delinquent. Because when I'm telling you guys, when these property owners are delinquent, not only are they getting notification from the tax collector's office, everybody blowing up their phone, everybody trying to buy their house. And if they're behind on their property taxes, there are other things they're also behind on as well. And so sometimes letting the property go will help them be a little bit more at peace without an additional stress added. You feel me? And then, of course, the investor will earn a state mandated interest and or accrue the property. So everybody wins when you're purchasing tax liens and tax deeds. Now, investing in tax liens and tax deed certificate is the best entry-level investment vehicle into real estate, which leads to ownership, leverage, and control. Now, I am currently going to be having a 3-day workshop. Well, it's actually a boot camp. This 3-day boot camp is my Black Friday special. It is December 5th through the 7th, and it'll teach you about the low-cost investment vehicles that I present to individuals, debt-free acquisition, and you starting right where you are. When you sign up for the boot camp, you're going to receive a free copy of Scale Your Ownership ebook. If you're a Georgia resident, you're going to attend the December 6th tax sale with me, and you get a discount on the tax sale group course. Now, at this point in time, do I have any questions from anybody regarding tax liens and redeemable deeds?
I have a question. I wanted to know if you could explain the redemption period.
Yes.
Just a little bit. Thank you.
Yeah, redemption period. So let's say we're going to deal with Georgia. Redemption period, it is a year and a day. So in Georgia, when you purchase on the courthouse stairs, you have to get the property on a year and a day. Now, when that year and a day comes current, what's going to happen is you make sure about at least a good 2 to 3 months prior to the redemption period date to expire, you're going to contact an attorney, in a tax lien, a tax deed attorney, because not a regular attorney handles this. You're going to contact the attorney and let them know that you have a tax lien, a tax deed that is about to expire, and you want them to start processing your foreclosure paperwork for the property owner. Now, you have to go through the foreclosure process. The attorney handles all the paperwork for you. They're going to contact all parties that have any vested interest in that property. Now, anybody that has a vested interest in the property can actually come and redeem that property. You understand? So, redeeming that property is anybody can do it who has a vested interest. So the mortgage company should always be the first one that does it. And usually the mortgage company will go ahead on and pay them delinquent taxes prior to it even being sold, if there's a mortgage on it. Now, if you have other liens like HOA and anything like that, someone can come in and still redeem it. But if no one has redeemed that actual deed, what's going to happen, you start the foreclosure process. Your attorney files all the paperwork, inform all interested parties as far as what's going on with their property. And then they put the property into your name, and the property is yours free and clear.
Oh, so I have a follow-up question. With the free and clear, does that mean that you get the property for what you pay the taxes?
Correct.
Okay. So if you only pay like $2,000 or $3,000 in back taxes, that's how much you pretty much got the property for.
That's how much you got the property for. Correct. Now I've purchased
Hold on.
my very first tax sale property I purchased, it was $1,600. You understand? And that's a 3-bedroom, 1 bath on a full basement brick structure for $1,600. I haven't paid more than $1,600 for any other property since then. Yeah. I use different strategies in order to acquire the property from the property owner and or at the tax sale. Anybody else got any questions for me?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
So if there's an auction and you have to upset bid, is there any type of tricks that you use to upset the bid?
Okay, so you're talking about the Kakalaki, South Carolina, North Carolina, correct?
No, more Tennessee.
Tennessee does an upset as well?
Yeah, and some of the little towns out here.
Okay, so how long is the upset bid in those towns in Tennessee?
We have a 10-day process.
Okay. So that 10-day upset bid, and you're upsetting it 5% more than what the actual last bid amount was, correct?
That is correct.
Now, when you go to upset that bid, you need to be trying to get a hold of that property owner because clearly they don't want that property. And then what you can do is have them sign a purchase agreement with you and go ahead on to go back to the courthouse and just go ahead on and pay those property taxes. Because during the upset bid, the sale hasn't been final yet. So y'all going every 10 days, people going back and forth, and there's no true winner yet. So during that time, contact the property owner. Say, hey, Ms. Jones, your property at 123 Main Street, it went up for sale. And she knows because she's received notification. But if it sells at the sale, she's not going to get nothing out of the deal, correct? So what you're going to do is offer her something for her property and then just go pay them property taxes. And then they're going to let the people who's doing the back and forth, doing the upset, that the property is no longer available for sale.
That makes sense. It gets rid of the back and forth.
Definitely. It definitely does. And if you can use that strategy to continue going back and forth in there, doing that to buy you some time until you get a hold of the property owner. Anybody got anything else for me?
Tiff, I wanted to talk to you after the call, all right?
Okay.
All right.
So this sounds like a very creative way and a very affordable way in order to acquire property. So like when you were saying about focusing on properties that have like low redemption periods, right? Because you said Georgia is a year and a day. So we focus on properties or states that have that 3-month, then we could foreclose in 3 months and acquire these properties after those 3 months.
You can definitely do that. We have attorneys in Indiana that once that 4-month period is up, they're processing the paperwork prior to the 4-month period being up. You understand? And in some places in Indiana, earlier this year, I purchased 4 lots of land. They were all next to each other, lined up next to each other in St. Joseph County, if I'm not mistaken, St. Joseph County. And each one of those lots I was able to get for $26 a piece. You understand? So it's like, it's it's so much real estate that's out here for sale, but you have to be intentional in looking for it and searching for it. You understand what I'm saying? Because it's out here, and I know that you can get it for as cheap as you can get it, because I get it as cheap as I get it. Now, let's say somewhere like Alabama, right? Alabama, they sell tax liens, and Alabama has a 3-year redemption period, correct? But you're looking at a state where the property taxes are not a lot. The property taxes $100 for the year, right? Because the property values aren't as high in Alabama as of yet. As of yet, because we're completely aware within the real estate game that real estate is going up everywhere and gentrification is going up everywhere. And so it's like, why don't we buy in our own neighborhoods, in our own inner cities or poor neighborhoods, and regentrify our own neighborhoods? You know, we don't have to wait till somebody else puts value on it for it to be valuable. You get what I'm saying? So if I'm picking it up for $26, I'm sure other folks who's in real estate with bigger pockets, if once they get a understanding what's going on in that little spot, they're gonna be trying to buy everything up, but it ain't gonna be $26 no more. It's gonna be $2,600 for the lots, or $20,000 for the lots. You understand what I'm saying? So it's getting in before everyone else figures out what's truly going on. But like somewhere in Alabama, it's a 3-year redemption period. The property taxes aren't that much, but with that 3-year redemption period, a lot of people shy away from it because it's 3 years. But 3 years is going to come regardless, and 3 years is a whole lot less than 30 years. And during that 3-year redemption period, you can be getting yourself situated for when that property does become yours. And you can be contacting that property owner to find out what are their true intentions and if you can actually buy it from them. You understand what I'm saying? Because I picked up 29 acres of land in Alabama for $455 and some change. You get what I'm saying? It's a 3-year redemption period, but the 3 years is coming regardless. And if the property owner does redeem, I get my money back plus the interest. So you have to look at it. It's not you're not losing. You're not losing at all. You get what I'm saying? But you just have to start investing in the real estate in order to be able to either get the real estate itself or make money.
Hey, Tiff, I do have another question for you.
Mm-hmm.
So just say that you buy the property and there's a lien, like a mortgage, first or second mortgage on it.
Mm-hmm.
What is it that you do when you run into that kind of issue?
Well, like I said, Mike, when it has a mortgage on there, that mortgage company is going to go ahead on and take care of that before it even gets a sale. Now, it's been instances where mortgage companies have sold this debt to another mortgage company and over and over again, and it's got lost in the sauce. You understand? And they may not even be aware of what happens. But if that property has sold, they don't have they can't come back and get it if they're in a state that sell tax deeds. Now, if they're in a redeemable deed state, then they still have whatever the redemption period is to come back to reclaim it.
Tiff, can I jump in 1 second?
Mm-hmm.
Mike, basically,
Yes,
if they got a mortgage, I can wipe the mortgage out and then you can still get the property because the mortgage company doesn't have a claim to the property either, but that's a different conversation. But we can knock that out too. But
well,
Yeah.
I appreciate it. I'll make sure I get your contact, Orlando, because I have a couple of I buy tax properties, and I've had that happen before where we had a lender wanting to take possession, foreclose on us because they wasn't being satisfied.
So was it prior to the redemption? Was it a redeemable deed?
It was a redeemable deed.
And they can't do that. Yes, sir.
so I mean, because I take mortgage companies to court every day, like we normally knock out 30 years. So it's a lot of different things that you can get money on the mortgage, because you can wipe the mortgage out. But like I said, I'm not going to take up this presentation, but just talk to me, DM me, or drop your number in the chat, and I'll call
All right. Thank you, sir.
you. Mhm.
Anybody else got anything for me? Like in addition to tax liens and tax deeds, there's also OTCs. OTCs are over the counters, and it's also called land banks. Detroit has a very good land bank. It is the best land bank I have seen thus far. You get what I'm saying? Where they're selling properties for $1,000. You get what I'm saying? And you can just go to the website, make sure you set up an account, and you start bidding on properties, and they have a countdown time for like 3 to 7 days, and you see it's counting down. And if you're the actual highest bidder on there, the property is yours. You understand? They have different components within their land bank, but every city, every county has a land bank, leftover real estate that has not sold at tax sales. You get what I'm saying? So it's like those OTCs, which is over the counters. And every state calls it something different as well, but you do have that option as well, where you're not bidding against anybody. I purchased 2 lots of land at the Shelby County, Tennessee Land Bank, Mike. And those 2 lots of land, I picked those up for $750 together. I bought them together for $750, and it's like 180 feet is the width of it, and 250 is the depth of it in Shelby County, Tennessee. So, and I didn't have to bid against anybody. I just looked at their list, and they told me how much it's going to be. I sent them in the payment, and I said probably about 4 to 6 weeks, they sent me the deed. In addition to that, I also sell properties out of Alabama. I over the counter their real estate for them. So I recently just put on my page, on my Instagram page, I have about 85 properties that I posted this morning for sale, where you don't have to bid against anybody. You get the deed in about 6 to 8 weeks. So I make it very easy for individuals. If they don't want to go to a tax sale, they don't want to have to bid against anybody, you can also purchase through me directly. So if you want to go to my Instagram, that's my Instagram name right there in my under my in my box where my name is. And you just go in there, research those particular properties, and let me know if it's anything you're interested in, and we can get it rocking and rolling.
Well, I'm curious to the Tennessee properties you got there. I mean, are you trying to offload those?
I'm not offloading anything in Tennessee, no.
Well, I'm just
I know,
out of curiosity now. Out of curiosity now, you talking my lingo with that. Is there a way that we can look at, like, are you just in Alabama? Do you have like stuff other places? Like,
Yeah, I have personally, I have real estate almost everywhere. Well, not everywhere. I do plan to have as much real estate as I possibly can in every state, but I do have things that I'm offloading. I do have, like I said, Alabama, and I'm doing some things in Mississippi as well. Tennessee I only have the 2 lots that I do have. Those are the only things that I actually have in Tennessee, in Shelby.
well, I guess my question is this: for someone that's looking to buy in other areas, is there a particular site we should go to, or we should go to, the county, municipality?
Yeah, and when you're interested in tax sales, period, you're always going to, and I always say Google is your friend, because a lot of this information, guys, is free information. You just have to be real intentional on what you're doing. You feel me? So whenever you're looking for anything anywhere like Shelby, you're gonna say Shelby County delinquent taxes, Shelby County tax sale lists. You understand? Or if you're in Florida, Florida is realtaxdeed.com/the county that you're interested in. REALD.com in the county that you're interested in. Now, but I always tell people just Google, like I'm in Fulton County, Georgia, tax sales, Fulton County, Georgia delinquent taxes. You understand? And that goes for all of you other guys. But I have different websites that I use. I'm gonna put them in the chat. I use govease.com. I also use Zeus auction.com. I also use Bid for Assets. And that's going to be like in California. Bid for Assets also do like Philadelphia, those type of things, that type of area. Mike, this is for you right here, civicsource.com. They do Tennessee, okay?
I appreciate that, Tiffany. I'm gonna come down to Fulton County and shadow you now.
I can't go to Fulton County because actually, guys, I have a full-time job and I work for the tax commissioner in Fulton County. I used to conduct tax sales. I used to be part of the whole system and everything. So I cannot work, go to tax sales in Fulton County, Georgia.
Where can you go?
Everywhere else is up. It's 158 other counties. So I go everywhere but there.
All right, well, we'll set it up one day. I come down there and or you come up to Tennessee, either way.
Definitely. We can make that happen. Mike, send me your information because I would definitely like to do it because I go everywhere for tax sales.
All right, that sounds good. And we might even be able to do like a class or something.
Yes,
for
sir.
other people. I mean, if that's okay with you, Christina.
I was on mute. Everything's okay with me. I love it. I love networking and stuff. So can I ask another question?
Yes.
Because I'm in love with real estate. So let me see. I think I have two questions. So the first question was about your list, right? So what are the price ranges for these 85 properties that you have? I'm trying to see if I can afford it.
Yeah. You know what? And I hated that they gave me so many because I had got like 250 of them. And the past couple of weeks they hadn't given me anything. So they gave me 250. I was like, well, dang, are they trying to dump all this stuff before they go to holiday or something? Like, what is going on? So that's what I weeded out of the 250. You get what I'm saying? But the cheapest one on there is like $1,800. You understand? And I think the most expensive one I have on there is probably, I think it's 4,000 or 5,000. Yeah, it's about 4,000 or 5,000.
And we get to own the property.
Yeah, I actually do all your paperwork for you and actually give you your deed. You're gonna get the deed to the property now. And and this is another thing, good people. I want to tell y'all, when y'all looking at the tax assessor sites as far as the value of a property, it's always gonna be cheaper than what it actually is because you're dealing with the assessor's office or your commissioner's office, you're dealing with the government. So that's gonna be the value that they put on it because they're valuing it at, like in Georgia, they're going to value at 40% of the fair market value, 40%. So you're getting that 40% figure. You're not getting the 100% figure. You get what I'm saying? Some counties do 20% or 30%, depending on wherever you are. You're not getting the 100% value because they're only valuing at what they can tax you at. You get what I'm saying? So when you're looking at the values that they're putting out there, that's just that's the value that they are taxing it at, not what the full value of the property is. And in addition to that, when you're looking at land is always going to be a lot less when you're purchasing, acquiring it. So you make sure you're always looking at all the land that's around, all the land and properties that's around the area you're interested in, because you're looking at the values of properties 1 mile north, south, east, and west of it, not just what that property right there is worth. You get what I'm saying, good people?
Yes. I love that. I love that.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Go for it.
Okay. How everybody doing? Hello. I wanted to ask Tiffany this right quick.
Mhm.
So I'm from Detroit for real. So
Sir.
I know the whole hookup. You know what I mean? I could have somebody stand outside. You won't want about a house. You feel me? So
I hear you.
I'm saying like this. But I'm down in Atlanta. So it's like the best of both worlds. I need to exchange some information with y'all or you or however that go. And we need to put some plays down for real. Let's go.
What's crazy is I just did an event in Detroit in June.
Where
I
was
had
it
a
at?
whole it was the event was in Ypsilanti, but
Okay, that ain't Detroit, but I know
yeah,
what you're saying.
of course, yeah.
Yeah,
That is not
yeah,
Detroit
okay.
at all.
Yeah.
But it was focused on Michigan as a whole because we had some
Okay.
Washington, Pontiac. Everybody came to this event because they wanted to understand how they do this. But when I went down to Detroit, I was like, the way they got everything set up is just so beautiful. You understand?
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
I tell you my first retail properties, now my first tax sale property I purchased was $1,600. My first retail properties I purchased were in Detroit in '05. I got 3 houses all together for less than $500. You understand what I'm saying?
So
Of course, they was all messed up and everything like that, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
And the city started tripping on me because they said, "Oh, you got to bring your property up to code." And so I was like, "Well, shit, everything else around here looking crazy. Why would I bring
Toe
mine
up.
up to code?" You know? And so I was like, "Nah, I don't want to do that." And so I called to get insurance put on the property, and the people at the insurance company said, "Well, in order to put insurance on it, we have to send somebody out to the property to make sure that someone actually lives in the home before we're able to put insurance on it."
Because
And
people were squatting. Yeah, people were squatting in the houses.
yeah, I'm like, ain't nobody living in here, so I can't even get it. So it was such a mess. But that was the first bug that bit me to understand that I can actually purchase real estate free and clear without a mortgage for little to nothing. You get what I'm saying?
Right. So watch this. Now I'm through at this. And I said, let's get in contact so we can comb through there. And then I got another little hookup outside of there that's even more great, might even be more gravier. But I do need, because I just own a whole bunch of stuff. So since that's what you own, we can for sure put in a play, and then I can use my being a native from there and make it a little more precise to make it make more sense for us and everybody, whoever on the same time that as far as that's concerned. So
I like that, sir.
Yeah. How do I get in contact with you? How do we do it? What's the deal?
Yeah. So right here in my my little box right here is my @name is my Instagram.
Okay.
And just join me on Instagram and I'll follow you back. Do you have an Instagram?
I got an Instagram. It's just really like quotes and different stuff. I ain't went fully on Instagram like that, so that's a form of communication I use. But I'm still kind of, I guess, old school with it. You know what I mean? Like telephone number, da da da.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You know, I'm into the human experience, not you feel like.
I do understand, sir. Hold on.
Yeah.
You got a 2-way pager for Montez?
Right. Okay. I was thinking about I think I have that I need a beeper or something. Give you my beeper number. Give you my beeper number, sir.
Damn. Now you know they don't even make beepers no more though. Ooh, the beeper number. Why you try to play me like that?
They still use beepers every now and then. Some
oh, they
some
do?
companies do. Correct. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I said more like this. Okay, Instagram is cool. Is it another form of contact that we could follow through on?
I'll send you. Somebody said they still got a beeper for their job. Yes. Okay. So I'll send you my info right now. Do you know how to use the chat?
But how about this? I give you another play for real. Even the property that you already own that you got taxes on, they can get wiped out too. That's even better.
Yeah.
That's a whole other play, but I mean, but so, just DM, just put your number in the chat or something, or just contact me on my DM. We all can run this. We all can run, please.
Right. That's what's up. That's what's up. And then I'm gonna say it like this, Tip. This the thing. My name is Montez, so I don't call and you like, who the hell is this? And because I know I sound like this and kind of, so I want to make sure it's professional, it's smooth, everything cool.
You good. I sent you my info. You got it?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
I appreciate it.
You know how to use the chat. That is good.
No, watch this though. Hold on. You ain't gonna do me like that. Hold on. No, I know how to, do everything. It's just a fact of the matter. That's something that I've been slipping on. You know what I mean? Because like I said, I'm well versed in all of it. It's just that's one of the things that's I'm slipping on that part, and I'm coming up to date on as far as actually doing it. I know how to push the buttons. You know what I mean? Like it ain't like that.
I get you, Mr. Stevens.
Okay, cool. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's what's up. Beautiful. I appreciate it.
All righty. Anybody else got any questions for me?
Hey, Tiffany, I have a question. Is there any case where the house don't need any work? Like you could buy a house for $1,600 and sell it for $200,000 or?
Listen, so real estate has become extremely popular right now. Extremely popular. And that means that the tax sales are just as popular as regular retail market. They're spending retail money on the tax sale, at the tax sale on the stairs. You get what I'm saying? In some places, like you go down to Fulton County, Georgia, or DeKalb County, Georgia, I've seen properties that had $2,000 of back taxes and it sold for $200,000. You get what I'm saying? So it's extremely unlikely that that property owner, even though they get a year and a day of redemption, it is extremely unlikely that property owner, if they couldn't pay the $2,000, they're not going to have $200,000 plus 20% on top of that. You get what I'm saying? But when someone pays $200,000 for that property, we're still talking about the same property. The back taxes was $2,000, and they paid $200,000 on the courthouse stairs. The county has gotten their money that they owe for the property taxes, which was the $2,000, right? So once they take $2,000 from that $200,000, where does that extra money go? Because there's extra money because they paid more than what it was due for the $2,000. Where does that extra money go? Somebody answer that for me.
Well, it's supposed to go.
Orlando.
No.
I want somebody else to answer it.
Somebody that doesn't know.
Correct.
All right. Let me shut up.
Who knows the answer?
Or take a guess. Who does that extra money go to?
Right to the state or the bank and stay in their pocket.
What you saying? Go to the state?
To the state or to the bank and it just stays in their pocket.
Okay. Who else want to guess?
I think that would belong to me.
It was what?
I think that would belong to me.
Okay. And you would be in the equation what?
Because I went and paid the taxes on it.
Okay. So when that overage happens, when that 2,000.
Can I guess?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Isn't it unclaimed funds that you can go and claim?
But you're claiming it for the property owner.
Yeah, but wouldn't we have to get an attorney to sign off and get the property owner to sign off that
correct
you're paying them the stuff?
Correct. Mm-hmm. So that money is actually due, like Mike is saying, it's actually due to the property owner. But in some states, like Mike is saying, you have to get an attorney, but you're working out and you're negotiating with the attorney and the property owner as far as how much your attorney cut. Y'all had that conversation way before anything. So that attorney, y'all already have y'all deal set, y'all working with each other. And so basically you're finding the property owners who have excess funds, surplus funds, and overages. Now, when you bring that client that you found and they done signed off to allow you to help them retrieve funds that they didn't know that there was theirs, then you and your attorney work out, do the paperwork and get all the paperwork done so that the check is cut. You get your cut as your finder's fee and the property owner get their remaining amount.
If
Y'all
it
get
sound like me, Orlando, Montez, and then we're gonna come down to Georgia and we're gonna have a session with you.
Well, I'm gonna tell you another play. Also, that you could do the overage thing, right? But then once you get that deed removed, see, the deed is illegally recorded as well. That's another thing they don't tell you. Now, what Tiff telling you, that's when it is recorded. But there's another play outside of that can bring a whole lot more revenue back to the homeowner. Even if they do decide to sell.
And what play is that, Lando?
The play would be the fact of saying to the homeowner, well, the state had to say that they have the legal right to authorize the recording of the deed. So there is no law requiring the deed to be recorded. So when I take clients to court, when I take the banks to court, I ask them, well, and the state to court, but I'll take the states and the banks to court and the mortgage company, and I ask them, show me the law that requires it to be recorded. There is none under your state constitution.
Okay.
So when you bring that up, they all start shaking in their boots and disappearing. Because that's considered deed fraud. I'm just saying that.
Thank you so much, sir.
No problem.
Do we have any more questions, good people?
This Montez again. I wanted to so in Michigan, and Orlando might be the chime in on this too. When it comes to them overages, they being sued for that because they don't let nobody do it.
Well, this is the thing. I mean, and I'm not really trying to, but since we just being open and honest on different plays, everybody gets through their state, all 50 states, because nobody's supposed to, that deed was never supposed to be recorded. So that's the whole thing, and the state knows that. And when she talks about an attorney, the attorney ain't supposed to be recording it either. So it brings them into play because when they record it, they're under the Constitution, well, under Rule 601, Rules of Evidence, and Hines versus Jenkins, no lawyer could either produce evidence or present evidence or talk about any debt at all. The U.S. Supreme Court said that in '86, they upheld it in the U.S. Supreme Court, and no attorney could speak on that. Plus, they're considered foreign agents under that rule, because lawyers are foreign agents because when they do the bar is the monarch under the UK. So they're illegal when they start talking about the debt. It makes it illegal, but they don't have the legal authority to even talk about the debt. And then when the state can't produce the law, if you can't produce the law saying that it was supposed to be recorded in the first place, then it makes it illegal. And they had to let their property go and pay you on damage.
So, Orlando, I do got a question about that.
Mm-hmm.
If I do that to too many banks, will they stop me from cashing out and refinancing if I get on the blacklist?
Mike, listen to what I'm saying. I'm going to just tell you like this. You want it, Mike, the refinance is illegal. All of it, straight from the door is illegal. So what I'm saying to you is when you ask them about that deed, they don't even want to talk to you, Mike. They'll be wanting to settle with you quick. because they don't want no problem.
Well,
Right now I have
Lando,
no,
they're asking you if they do that, can they go back at any given time
Yeah.
and pull money off their property, put that back?
They cannot blacklist you in no regard, because the reason why, it was never supposed to be done in the first place.
Right.
So they can't blacklist you on something that they did illegal.
but if I know that it's illegal and I still go and comply with it, that's
no,
like
Mike,
having a statute.
Mike, what I would say is, like basically after you go comply, after you go get the money, the fact is that you'll have enough money to retire with, Mike. So you can go do whatever you want to do. You won't even want to play. They won't even challenge you on nothing. It'll just be give Mike whatever you want, because they already know you understand what's going on with the whole thing.
So I'd like to talk to you one-on-one off the Zoom. I want to respect everybody's time because I got more questions.
I know. Because I'm doing it right now. That's why I'm saying.
All right, good people. Anything else? Any final questions, comments? Anything?
Yes, Miss Tiffany. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yes, I have a question.
Mhm.
I was this whole time I've been listening. This whole time I've been listening, but I was looking on your Instagram trying to find that OTC list in Alabama with those lovely prices that you were paying.
Well, no, it's not an OTC list. It's just properties that I have for sale. It's hold on, because it's there, because people contacted me about it, and I posted it. It's the very first one listed.
Okay, it was a video. It was a video. Then I clicked on it and it was playing, but I was trying to listen. So how would I actually
you see all the properties? Yeah. So what you're gonna do?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So no, what you're gonna do? Like it says in the thing, it says if you want to list, just go to my DM and send me your email address, and I'll email the list over to you.
Okay, perfect.
Now it's the video guys that's playing Mr. Ice Cream Man. Master P, Mr. Ice Cream Man.
Classic.
What you know about that Ice Cream Man, Tim?
Tim, you still playing that one up there? Come on, Tim.
It's bad.
I'm originally from New Orleans, so yeah.
Wait a minute, you ain't said that, Tim. I ain't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the class that you're gonna be having, what exactly does it go over versus like what you're telling now? Does it go like just more in depth?
Oh yes, it definitely goes more in depth, and it's a boot camp that's going to require you to put in some work for your specific county and state in which you reside in. So once you actually sign up for the class, I'm gonna have to get your information regarding what state you're in or the state you intend to invest in. So then when we start the class, I can now have all the information that you need regarding your particular state and county, so that you can actually start putting the footwork in to contacting those county offices, inquiring about the tax sale the next up and coming tax sale. How do you acquire the tax sale list? Is it an in-person sale or an online sale? What is the bidding process? Can you pay with credit cards? So you have to have cash. Is it a redemption period or not? What the percentage rates is, all that good stuff.
And for these properties, because I'm in Louisiana, but I'm not in Louisiana. I live in Louisiana, but I travel a lot. So a lot of this can be done away from home.
Yes, like when I purchased in Alabama, and recently, guys, I've been purchasing land more than anything. When the real estate itself then got so popular, I purchased land because the land is a little bit easier to deal with, especially when I'm not actually going to do anything with it immediately. But I purchased out of state anywhere where I can pick up some land. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
And those
Orlando, can
auctions,
you put your information in the chat also?
yeah, those auctions are online that I pick into. This is my Instagram, lady. Okay. NYTYUSE.
Okay.
And who was that was speaking? I was just speaking with Amaris.
Amaris, yes.
Okay, hold on. And I'll send you my number.
I followed you already on Instagram.
Okay, looky, lady. And here you go. Anybody got anything else for me?
Well, I got another question. So I'm stuck on the redemption period. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine.
So with the states that you said there are states that have no redemption period?
Correct.
So you like foreclose like the next day?
Yeah, you start immediately. Like the state of Missouri. The state of Missouri is a redeemable deed state, the entire state except for the city of St. Louis. The city of St. Louis, the moment you purchase, the property is yours. So I go from purchasing, or my clients purchasing on the courthouse stairs, and once they're done, I have the attorney that's standing at the bottom waiting to go ahead on and grab the information so they can start the it's called a confirmation process in the city of St. Louis. And it takes about 4 to 6 weeks before they get their deed.
Tiff, can I say something on that or no? Or just not? Okay. Okay.
I can't with Orlando. He's just too much.
Child, I've been knowing him for a good minute, sir.
Oh Lord. Like me and Orlando, we always on the phone together. I'm like, Orlando, there's too much information.
No, I just okay.
Orlando, we love you. Say what you gotta say. Say what you gotta say. We gotta hear it. We all ears.
I was just saying, like in the states where they have the right to redeem the right individual because the deed ain't supposed to be recorded, you can put a counterclaim in the very next day and put a stay on the property. Once it gets filed, then they have to do the hearing before the sale can be signed off by the judge.
Okay.
I love that. Thank you, Orlando. Well, I'm just trying to get some properties. So I am gonna hit up Tiffany for that list. I already know Darnell is gonna do that. So me and him, we about to race to Tiffany for the list. I know Montez is gonna do that. I know Amaris is gonna do that. I know Mike is gonna do that.
I still gotta holler at Tiff because I want to holler on this property I got. I want to talk to him about some stuff. Don't hate me, Tiff.
I don't hate you, Lando, at all.
I ain't trying. I was just trying to, it wasn't no,
Yeah.
Okay.
So everyone, go ahead and follow Tiffany. And Tiffany, can you tell us about your Black Friday special again? Do you have a link or do you want them to just DM you?
Yes, DM me. Guys, I just got out the hospital yesterday, which is kind of crazy because Saturday, I went to a Friendsgiving with some of my people from MMU for Morning Meetup. And I was perfectly fine and everything. But then Monday came, I had some dental work done. And as soon as I left the dentist's office, I noticed I felt very cold, very, very cold. And I said, well, let me pick up some soup or something. Since I already got my mouth done, I said, let me just pick up some soup. And by the time I got home, I was hot and cold and hot. And I wound up taking my temperature when I first got here and it was normal. I said, okay, cool. So a little bit later, I started really getting hot. And y'all, my temperature was like 102, 104. And then I would say probably about 11 o'clock, the temperature read 108, right? What? And I kind of started freaking out a little bit, but I had to calm myself down. You have to talk to yourself like, Tiffany, pull it together, sis. we ain't got time for that right now. So I'm chewing on ice, the NyQuil, taking stuff here and there, getting my temperature down. And I got it down to like 101, 102. But then when I was telling myself, when I wake up the next morning, if it isn't at a decent level, I am going to call my son and have him bring me to the hospital. And so by the time the next morning came, I had already texted my job at like 3 in the morning, like, look, guys, I'm not coming. And so about 9 that morning, I called him to ask him to take me to the emergency room. And they couldn't figure out what was wrong with me, y'all. They did me, I had a pneumonia test, a flu test, a COVID test, all the tests they ran on me, and they didn't know what was wrong with me, you know? So, of course, I texted the group that I was with, and 4 of them wasn't feeling well as either, you know? So we done spread something around at Friendsgiving. So now, not only I'm feeling a whole lot better, but I'm gonna go ahead and stay in the house. So now I can't go to my son's house for Thanksgiving. I may cook here, but I asked him to bring me a plate. But I knew I had this particular speaking engagement with you guys. And so it was like, I was going to call you, lady, and I was going to be like, girl, I am laid up in the hospital. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it happen. You know what I'm saying? But the closer it got to this particular engagement, the better I felt. So that is another thing that I'm thankful for, that I'm actually feeling a whole lot better, you know. But, you know, I hope all of you guys enjoy your holiday.
We are so glad that you feel good now, Tiffany, and health is just so vitally important. You know, health is wealth, actually, because, you know, you can have all the properties in the world, all the money in the world, but if you don't have your health, like you know, you can't operate, really. You cannot.
Cannot.
Yeah, so I'm so grateful that that you out of the hospital and that you feeling much better. And we wishing you a happy Thanksgiving too.
But let me tell y'all something funny. I had told my dad that, he was like, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, Dad, I'm fine. The next thing I know, here come my mama calling me. Your daddy said you've been in the hospital for 2 days. Are you still there? You need us to come? I was like, Mama, no, I'm at home. And as I'm talking to her, my sister calling. And so then I get off the phone with my mom and call my sister. Tiffany, Daddy said you in the hospital. I said, no, Brandy, I'm not in the hospital. As I'm on the phone with my sister, here's my brother calling. I was like, dang, Daddy, you done. But that's family, guys. But Tiffany Tyuse, the tax sale expert on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram. Join me on Instagram. I try to give a lot of good tips and all that good stuff. And December 1st, I'm going to start doing 30 days of tax sale tips all the way into the new year. So I'm always going to be giving tips about different tax sales, different strategies, and just to-dos and not to-dos heading into 2023.
Okay. And for the people who want to take advantage of your Black Friday sale, how do they do it?
What y'all gonna do is just DM me and in my Instagram, say Black Friday, and I'll send all the information to you first thing tomorrow.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Tiffany. We really appreciate you pouring into the community. You actually not canceling on us today. Thank you so much. We appreciate your health and well-being and just all the information and gems that you drop, because to be honest with you, like, I've been doing real estate since 2015, but I've never tapped into tax deeds or tax liens, and it's been something that I wanted to do. I know a lot of investors, they put their money into tax liens so that they can get those high interest rates and stuff. So I'm definitely tapping in with you, with your list and, you know, everything that you got to offer, because I need to broaden my real estate horizon over here. So
yes, you will be seeing my DM. Thank you.
Yes. So right. Yes. So we do appreciate you for coming on today and being a guest speaker and pouring into the community. It was an amazing masterclass. Thank you so much.
You guys are very welcome. And like I said, happy Thanksgiving, okay?
Yes. And so all of our master classes, guys, are recorded and they are put into our YouTube channel. So if you guys want to catch the recording for this and go back to, you know, all the gems that she dropped, I put the link in there. I'll go ahead and repost it if you guys didn't catch it. So go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel and you can watch the replay. We're going to drop the replay tomorrow, and then you can watch all the replays from all of our master classes. We've been doing this since May. One last thing, we do have a Black Friday special as well. So I specialize in trust. So you could get all the real estate in the world, but if you don't have it the right way, if you're not protecting your assets and have it under a trust, somebody could snatch it away from you right away, or you're going to have to go through probate in order for your kids to be able to get your, that generational wealth that you're building. So I do have a replay from some of my webinars on trust, just teaching you what a trust entity is, why you need to use it, and how to build wealth. You can go ahead and catch our replay on the YouTube channel, and we have a Black Friday special where we're giving you 50% off on our course. So normally it's $997, but right now we're running the special for $497 from now until Monday. So go ahead and take advantage of that 50% off, because after Monday, y'all, you're gonna have to pay a stack, okay? So I will drop the link for that. And if you guys want to catch a live webinar, I'm hosting another one this Sunday at 8 p.m. so that you guys can watch it live and ask any questions that you want to ask. So like I said, thank you for spending your pre-Thanksgiving, the day before Thanksgiving. Thank you for coming on here and spending it with us. We appreciated your engagement and participation in all your questions. And we wish you a happy holidays, and we will see you guys next week. Be blessed.